Hello everybody. I want to talk about what we can learn from Lou Gehrig. The story of Lou Gehrig, the famous New York Yankees baseball player whose life ended with the devastating illness that now bears his name, offers a profound lesson on the often unfairness of life and the manner in which you should live your life while you're here on this earth. The way he played baseball made him a star. The way he lived his life made him a respected gentleman. And the way he battled ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, made him a legend. Here's that story. Lou Gehrig was one of the best athletes ever to play baseball. As a member of the New York Yankees, he set numerous records, including runs batted in by a first baseman, home runs in a single game, he had 4, and scoring the winning run in 8 World Series games. He was the first athlete to appear on a box of Wheaties. Most people don't remember that. And the first player to have his uniform number retired. He was twice the American League MVP and was a 7-time All-Star. His record for Grand Slams, 23, stood for 70 years. During his playing years, the Yankees won 6 World Series championships, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1939. Of all those accomplishments, Lou is often remembered for one of the most admired records ever to exist. Between 1925 and 1939, he played in 2,130 consecutive baseball games. This record stood for nearly 60 years until broken by Cal Ripken Jr. in 1995. That record might never have been broken if Lou had continued playing, but he was physically unable to do so, for he had developed a disease that later claimed his life. Lou was known as the Iron Horse because he played through the physical pain and discomfort so common to the professional athlete. He played with numerous broken bones and other ailments that would have sidelined others. His will to compete and his stamina to do so at the highest level lasted until that year in 1939. In that year, his playing statistics were some of the worst of his career. But Lou knew it was time to end his playing days when he had trouble making a routine out at first base. His strength to hit the baseball had left his body, and he frequently had trouble hitting the ball past the infield. Something was seriously wrong with Lou. Lou and his wife went to the now famous Mayo Clinic for treatment, and shortly thereafter learned that he had contracted ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. His career was over, and shortly his life was to be over too. A sports writer suggested that the Yankees recognize the achievement of Lou during the upcoming baseball season. In this game, over 60,000 fans attended, including the governor of New York and many celebrities. Lou was simply overwhelmed by the outpouring of affection and respect by his teammates, fans, and some people who never knew him. Gehrig accepted many awards in recognition of his career, and after accepting them, had to set them down quickly because he didn't have the strength to hold them. Then he gave one of the greatest speeches in American history. It contained the immortal statement, "Today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I have been in ballparks for 17 years and never received anything but kindness and encouragement from you fans." Lou's baseball career was over, but not his service to the country. He accepted the mayor's request that he serve on the city's parole board, which he did until he was physically unable to do so. Lou died on June 2, 1941. He's remembered for his baseball career, but more for the passion he had for the game, the way he played it, and how he handled adversity when it plagued his body. When fate presented him with a terminal obstacle, he did not carp and moan about his misfortune. Instead, he remained grateful for what he received and appreciative of his time to do so. Few would have responded to the adversity in their midst, as Lou did, but that's the legend of Lou Gehrig. He considered himself fortunate, not cursed or disadvantaged. He lived the years of his life in an admirable way, and from the belief came a sense of peace and acceptance of his fate. The Iron Horse lived a grand life, but it's interesting how he's remembered by his wife, who stated Lou was, quote, "just a person who lived the American dream, though the dream did not last as long as he and the nation would have liked," end quote. Billy Joel once said, "Life is a series of hellos and goodbyes," a prophetic statement about the fragility of life. One reason you should enjoy the life you have, and also work to make the life for those who come after you just a little bit easier, a little bit better. Thanks.